Hello, this is Tom, aka Jetty. I'm here for Tabletop Taproom. We are reporting on some dots that were put on the board by some other YouTubers. And we're going to try to connect those dots to what's going on in the gaming world and what potentially is the future of D&D, what potentially is the future of Star Frontiers. Let's start with some dots that were put on the board by other YouTubers, and these are great guys here. They are Eric Tankar of Tankar's Tavern and Professor Dungeon Master of Dungeon Craft. Now, just recently, Eric Tankar did a video, which you can see here, that is One D&D will likely have an SRD, but no OGL. Now, so he covered this and went into his predictive reading of the tea leaves for where Wizards of the Coast is going with One D&D. In fact, he went to Wizards of the Coast's own website here with the D&D Beyond, One D&D, where it's going, and covered this quite well. What is of interest here is that, that they tell you what is One D&D. It's three prongs. It's three prongs to the pitchfork. It's D&D rules. We're updating and expanding the rules. It's D&D Beyond, a digital tool set, joined the Wizards of the Coast family in 2022, and we want to make it even better. So they are taking what was there and they're expanding it. And then point 3 is digital D&D play experience, announced during Wizards Presents. The D&D Digital is an immersive tabletop space that is in early development. So they are going for, they're moving in a whole new digital direction with Dungeons and Dragons. And some of the predictions are is there won't be an OGL. They're looking to cut out a lot of the OSR producers who do produce modules that sell for 5e compatible that they produce in-house. That's money that, Wizards of the Coast doesn't share in. They're looking to expand their take in the RPG industry through all of this. Okay, fine. Let's go to the Dungeon Craft page. This is Professor Dungeon Master of Dungeon Craft. I love this guy's reporting. So his episode number 289, he asked the question, is Wizards of the Coast in trouble? Part of what he reports on here is how one guy is out, and now they brought in Mike Rawlson, who is a Microsoft guy. And, so their new hires are Microsoft people that are being brought in, combining that with the whole stated, we're going in a digital direction, and they're bringing in Microsoft people, means you can just kind of double down on this. Now, what's really interesting is that last night, after my Star Frontiers game, a player said to me, have you seen this? And it was a listing for a job through with a subsidiary of Wizards of the Coast. They are looking for a programmers. So job description here, this is Archetype Entertainment. They are a subsidy of Wizards of the Coast. Let's go to the second sentence here. It says, we are building a development team with world-class talent to create a new science fiction universe for our first multi-platform role-playing video game. Our goal is to create the greatest story-driven role-playing games in the world. Now, if you said to me, greatest story-driven role-playing game, and these words came out of the mouth of somebody who is connected to Wizards of the Coast, I would be like, oh, they're talking Dungeons and Dragons. But this is explicit, a science fiction universe, a new science fiction universe. So what's going on? Well, I think in light of the fact that you have a court case going on where squatters have squatted on the trademark that's owned by Wizards of the Coast for Star Frontiers, I think that's interesting because sources within NuTSR have told me Justin thought that Wizards of the Coast would never want the optics of suing a company that had a Son of Gygax attached to it. And that's why he brought in Ernie. And that he would make $100 million for selling back the trademarks back to Wizards of the Coast. That's not going so well. And now sources within the legal battle are telling me there ain't going to be no settling. They're not going to settle with Justin. They're going to burn down the house that Lanassa built, which admittedly is not much of a house. It's a game company that doesn't produce games. It produces controversy. They can't even produce properly edited, games that are just horrific. They produced one module that the author of the module was like telling people, don't buy it, ask for your money back. This is just, they've mishandled this. They have a game, a board game, not even retail ready. They stiffed all of their pre-orders when they produced the game and sold it privately, at street shows and conventions, and didn't even fulfill their pre-orders. I mean, the father of the CEO of NuTSR admitted to me online that he had not received his own he had supported the pre-order. He had not received the game. I mean, how bad is that? So Wizards of the Coast seems bound and determined to go hammer and tongs at NuTSR and Justin Lanassa. Why? Star Frontiers is a product that they own that they've done nothing with for 40 years. Well, they haven't owned it 40 years, but since they purchased it in the late 90s, they've done nothing with it. Why? Admittedly, Hasbro does have a history of, IP. They hoard IP. It comes into the Hasbro fold. It never leaves. All right. Sure. Why are they doing it? I tend to think that just maybe this new science fiction universe is going to have the name Star Frontiers. Will it be the original Star Frontiers? I actually don't think so. The way they handled Spelljammer, the recent Spelljammer rollout, way that mishandled, whatever your opinion on that is, I think they're going to just change the lore. It'll be all new lore. It'll be all new setting. It'll be different, but it'll be the Star Frontiers name because there is a fan following for Star Frontiers. You'll be able to roll it out. There'll be some early activity. There'll be some early interest, and maybe they'll intentionally change the lore so that you have grognards and longtime fans who complain, because complaints and controversy draws attention. And, so controversy sells, So that's what I think is going on here. Whole new science fiction RPG, multi-platform, digital-based RPG coming out from Archetype Entertainment, subsidiary of Wizards of the Coast. I'm willing to bet. I would put my money more on that it's going to have the Star Frontiers name, quite possibly a whole new, because they specify new, universe, but it will be the Star Frontiers name because that makes sense, since that's what they are fighting in that court case, and they're going after NuTSR with hammer and tongs. And sources tell me, burning down the house, we will not settle with Lanassa. Even if he wants to settle, we're not interested. We're going to burn down his house. So this is the future. This is what's going on with the court case. This is the future. This is what's in development with Wizards of the Coast. And you can look for, at some point in the future, a Star Frontiers online experience. Star Frontiers name, whole new universe. This is gonna be my prediction. my reading of the tea leaves. So this is Tom from Tabletop Taproom and the Star Frontiers Gamer reporting on what's going on. We already know there's a virtual tabletop experience for Dungeons & Dragons coming. I'm predicting you're going to see the same for Star Frontiers. So I want to thank you for watching my video. And I want to thank my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you have not subscribed, please do consider hitting the like, subscribe, and bell icon and help me build the channel. But until then, keep on gaming.